everyone, Shabby Gamer here and welcome back to another episode of our Gibraltar Challenge here on Football Manager 2016. Right, we now have for you the last two matches of the Gibraltarian First Division. Unfortunately, as you can probably see on the screen, just floating around really annoyingly there right in the middle of the season. We got a 2-2 draw at the end of December, which means that we have once again lost. Well, once again we have not won every game in the season. We've got one game that seems to stick out, and the most annoying thing is we were 2-0 up in this one as well. We went 2-0 up and conceded 2 goals in the last 20 minutes, and we just could not get that goal back, and I'm so frustrated. I almost broke the monitor, I must admit. I was very, very annoyed. But of course, yeah, we do have our last 2 games of the season. The league is already finished, we've already won it, but we do have Lincoln Red Imps away, and then we have Glasses United away as well. Hopefully we will be able to see... Oh, you're joking me. Really? So I've just noticed, we've increased the size of the Victoria Stadium now. It has 5,000 people. I've just realised that both our final games of the season are taking place at the Devil Tower camp, which is really annoying. But we will see that at some point. Hopefully we'll see it in there. Yeah, we will see it in the next episode then when we play against Lincoln Red Imps in the Senior League Cup final. But of course, since the last episode, there has been some ins and outs. So let's have a quick look at that now. Right, so here we are now. What have we done since the last time we spoke? I think it would have been from here. So we got this guy here, Javier Varas. Now he is a Chilean left back who I feel is a pretty decent player. He's had a few games for us so far, and I think he's a little bit more competition to Jared Murphy in that left back position. And we also brought in Nigel Smith, again another left back, another Australian, fresh from the Centre of Excellence. Again, just a bit more competition for Jared Murphy than that left back position. He's only 18 as well, so he's got a bit more development to do. And as you can see, that's working quite well. All his stats heading in the right direction. Right, we actually paid money for this one. We paid £100,000 for Momar Ndiaye, who my scout said had the potential to be the best player we had in the ranks. However, the coaches don't agree with that. They still reckon he's going to be a decent rating for the senior side. And with 13 finishing, 11 first touch, good determination, flair, teamwork, work rate, he might develop into a pretty damn good player. He might do. He's 19 years old now, so it's going to have to happen in the next couple of years if it is going to happen. But I'm happy. We've got a lot of money now. Making that £100,000 risk is not too bad. Now this lad here, if he cost £100,000 for a striker, this one was a free transfer, and he's a very good player, isn't he? Kenneth Davidson, fresh from Preston North End. He came through the Liverpool Academy and played at Preston for a few years. Then he's been a free transfer. I've been trying to buy him for a while, but he kept rejecting any contracts we put forward to him. Now he finally broke down, and he finally accepted our deal on a 3-year deal as well. Very good player so far. 9 goals in 5 games. He has really been a superstar for us. It's taken us a while to get his match sharpness up, so that's while we've been trying to get him fit as well. So good player, I think, Kenneth Davidson. And then we just have a few youngsters that we can try and build up. Alexa Tepasevic. Let's hope he doesn't get much better in the future. We don't have to use him. A good Serbian centre back. He's got good heading. He's around and about. What I've tried to do is what I've done before. Just buy a lot of the younger sort of 16, 17-year-old players in that hopefully we can keep a hold of for long enough to become Gibraltarian as well. That's the hope anyway. We've also got Urs Schultz, who is a central midfielder from Switzerland. 16 passing, I thought, was very, very good for this young age. And he has got some decent other stats as well. Good determination, good teamwork, good work rate. Some good base stats that over the next 2 or 3 years we can hopefully build up. Of course, if you remember when we first brought in Anders Broger, this is very similar to what his stats were. And now he's one of the best players at the club. So the possibility is there. And the last one was Luca Conti, another Swiss player, 16 years old. He's a striker who's got some pretty good stats, isn't he, for a 16-year-old? Unfortunately, the ones that we need him to have, like finishing as a striker, are not so good. But hopefully we can start to build him up a bit more. Maybe we can retrain him into like an inside forward or one of the outside wings, maybe. That's something I can have a look at. But I think, you know what, I think we'll just keep him as he is. I think if we can just get that finishing ability higher, then he could turn out to be a really, really good player for us. So those were the ins. Now to the outs. As you see, there's quite a few here. Right, so Emery Admasu, our Frenchman, he has gone out on... oh, wow. He's transfer listed already. Sheffield Wednesday paid us £750,000 for him, and it's not even the end of the season. They put him on the transfer list. They must have like changed manager and changed their mind or something. He played a couple of games for them, and he's that's awful. That is. I feel sorry for him. Players out on loan, Jason Webb, Joseph Muscat, just a few of our Gibraltarian youngsters. No one of any real real talking point really, is there? Just a few decent players, and it's good to have them out there because they're going to get some first team football and hopefully build them up a bit for when they come back as well. Martin Hernandez went out on loan. We didn't really give him enough first team football. His stats are not fantastic, so I thought we'd give him a chance. Velez wanted him, so hopefully he's going to come back a better player as well. Musa Badji. He was determined he wanted to leave, unfortunately, and after a lot of arguments back and forth, I managed to get £500,000 from Genoa. It was a bit annoying because everyone tried to offer like 100,000 and this, that and the other. And I kept rejecting it and they'd offer 110,000. It really started annoying me. Then eventually one club agreed to pay the 500,000. As soon as they did, everyone else agreed to pay it as well. So there was a bit of an argument for him, and eventually he went to Genoa. And he has played 13 games in Serie A so far, so shows how good of a player he was, wasn't he? Another player on loan, Jack Gilder. Gilder, yeah. Attacking midfielder. He's got 8 games under his belt for Lions so far. Lee Zhongzhu, a player who, again, we brought in a couple of years ago. He wanted to leave as well, 250 grand. We thought might as well take the money for him, I suppose. Sergio Oyazan, another really annoying one that we lost. I was gutted to lose him, and now he's worth nearly £2 million. That's the most annoying thing. But we got 425 grand for him, and I had to argue and fight to get that. But we had a good run with him, and we got some money out of it as well, I suppose, so I can't moan too much. Bob McBreety went on a free transfer to Motherwell. I'm a bit annoyed. I think I buggered that one up. I didn't mean to let him go, but I ended up accepting it anyway. Eric Franks, he's gone to Los Angeles finally. He was a very good player for us, but he got the caps for America already, so it wasn't worth keeping around to become Gibraltarian, and he was never really at the same level as some of the other players we had, so he's gone now. And now these second two here are quite amazing to me. Pavel Jerkal, a player we got on a free transfer last season, and we managed to get we got £250,000 for him. So he's probably going to end up being quite a good player in the end, but I thought for that sort of return, and it's the same with this lad here, Catalin Bika, we got him on a free transfer last season, and then we managed to sell him for £500,000 to Cluj. So the money was rolling in, and then Jared Madison went to Los Angeles as well. I did want to keep him around to become Gibraltarian, but it was going to be like another 2 or 3 years, and he wanted to leave, and I just couldn't be bothered to be in that argument over and over and over again, so unfortunately we did have to let him go. But that is all the transfer business we have had so far, so why don't we get into our first game against Lincoln Red Imps. And here we go. As you can see, we are massive favourites of this one as normal. Lincoln are currently second in the division, and if we win this game, we will go 29 points at the top of the table. Sounds about right, 29 points. Yeah, Lincoln have done pretty well, actually. They're guaranteed that second position. I think Glasses and Gibraltar United are fighting out for that third position, and that could really go either way at the moment. Gibraltar Phoenix are definitely down. And yeah, I think we've done quite well again this year. It would have been nice to have got that full sweep of 25 out of 25. That'd be great, but oh well, it is what it is. This is the team we're playing today then. We've got Bruno Ramito in goal with his 1 Gibraltarian cap now. Fantastic. At left back we're going with Matthew Baxter. I want to try and get a few more of these Gibraltarian players, a few games now, just to continue to build them up and keep them match fit as well. So it's me being a little bit selfish really for the national side. Stefan Konganyoy, who's actually scored a few goals this season. He scored 4 goals overall, 2 in the league, 1 in the Rock Cup. I don't know why it doesn't seem to count certain things, does it? What is it counting then? It's counting 2 league games from last season. I wish that would show cup games as well, really. But there you go. Ovef Coutinho, of course, a player who I'm surprised is still with us, to tell the truth. I would have thought somebody would have come in for him by now. We've had him now for 4 seasons, and he has really been a cracking player. It's a shame he's played for Colombia, because we could have had him in the national side as well. Jose Ramon Gallardo, a player who's still unhappy because we've not been playing him enough, so I need to give him a few more games. He's definitely worth it. He's a good enough player. Into the central midfield spots again, we have Frank Evans. This is his best season he's had for a long time now, isn't it? 10 games. This is more than he's played in the last 2 years put together, but he's got 4 goals and 2 assists as well, so he's really been proving his worth in this squad. Alongside him, of course, Anders Broger, who's not far away now, is he? 185 days away from being able to play for our Gibraltar national side. That'd be fantastic. Christian Ataganya is one of the 3 attacking midfielders. Of course, annoyingly enough, he's played for Cameroon now. so I can't get him in the national side. Natalio Caballero, a player who's also unhappy because he wants some more first team games. He's had quite a few this season actually. He's had more than some others, but he's still unhappy with what he's had. Alongside him, Christian Bayers, another one who's unhappy because he wants some more first team football. I've really been struggling to get everyone in the team this season. And then up front, we are going with a new striker, Kenneth Davidson. He did score a hat-trick in the last game I've just played off camera, so hopefully he can continue that form here today. So if they get anyone of any interest, they got Crossley, who's one of the members of our national squad. And they've got Jackson, who's one of the members of our national squad. Apart from that, no one of any real note. So let's go. Let us go forth and see if we can finish this season with two lovely we are playing at the Victoria Stadium. This is the brand new stand. It's finished. The stadium is finished. As you can see, the best thing is now, look, we're filling it as well. We're the away team for this, and look at how full the stand. I don't know why it was showing at the Devils, whatever it was, ground, because this is our stadium. This is the Victoria ground. So that's what we've spent the time building on, and this is now the maximum capacity for the stadium. It can't go any bigger than this. I'm a little bit annoyed how all the capacity's on one side, to tell the truth. Would have liked to have been more spread out, but still that looks quite nice to see that many people sat there in the stands now watching their clubs play in Gibraltar. Best thing is we're away fans, and I think we've got, if I was reading on the news before this match, and I think we've taken 3,000 fans to this away game, to a 5,000 seat stadium. So we've got more of our fans in the stadium than they've got home fans. That's the amazing thing. And look at it, it's absolutely jam-packed to the rafters. Oh, disallowed goal. They were very happy there as well. These poor guys up here, I don't even think they can see the goal, because all they can see is the back of that stand. That's not designed very well, is it? Bless them. Bless their heart. So now, obviously, the next plan is to try and get our own stadium built. I have tried already, and I got told our fan base wasn't big enough. But then again, we're packing out this 5,000 seat stadium, so I don't know how long it's going to be before we do get our own stadium. Maybe another 1 or 2 years in the Champions League, just to continue building up our fan base. I really want to get our reputation up as well. If we can get up to like a 1.5 star team, because we're still only a 1-star team at the moment. I'd like to get it a bit higher. I would have thought realistically we would be a high reputation team now anyway, because in the last 3 years we've been the Champions League group stage twice, and we've been the Europa League knockout stage once as well. So we really have had a big couple of seasons, or a big 3 seasons in Europe, and I'm surprised that our reputation hasn't gone up quicker. I know it's probably quite a slow burner on this game, but I would like to have seen it go a bit quicker. There are quite a few players we can buy in the transfer market now that are very expensive. Like there's a player on our list that we can buy apparently who's £15 million, but the problem is that some of these players are just not worth it. We've got some really good players and the values are not very high, and we saw that with Oyazun. He was worth about 100k with us. That was about it. That was the maximum value he ever got up to. We sold him for 425, and now he's worth £2 million at Bromby. So that's a little bit annoying. Caballero, oh, he's put it wide. So I would like to get our values put up a bit more as well. That must have been saved, clipped around the corner by the keeper. Would like to get our values back up a bit more as well. We did have them at one point. Some of our players were really expensive, and for some reason they just dropped again. I'm not quite sure what we did, if we did something wrong or what, but I thought that was all to do with the reputation as well, but evidently our reputation has not really gone up as quickly as I was hoping it would do, really. So we're 35 minutes in and we're still 0-0. Caballero's playing a 7.5. Everyone else has been a little bit quiet. So, yeah. Of course, if you haven't seen the last episode, do go back and check it out. It was a little bit of an annoying one. We did have our first international match in charge of Gibraltar. But me being the stupid person I was, I must have accidentally, when I was going through doing some of the bits and bobs, I must have accidentally... Oh, there's me accidentally doing stuff again. I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. I'm just used to pressing congratulations. Yeah, I was... when I went through, I must have accidentally clicked on the assistant take charge of friendly matches button, and we ended up missing the match, which was very frustrating. So we haven't yet played our own, we haven't managed our own match yet. We did watch the highlights and we went through the squad of players that we did have picked. So it wasn't a complete waste of an episode, but in about 2 or 3 episodes time we will have another couple of friendly matches. I think we've got all the friendly matches we've got coming up now that I've booked in. They're all against pretty easy teams around Europe, so they're going to be pretty much even with us. We've got Malta, Liechtenstein, Luxembourg, Azerbaijan, San Marino. So teams that we should be able to mount a challenge against at least. Right. Why are we not scored yet? That's the worrying thing. Joe Stevens, my friend, you are coming on the pitch. We're going to go all-out attack now. I don't know what I'm doing here, I must admit. I'm just winging it a little bit at the moment. I know I'm someone who loves being symmetrical, but I just feel that might get us a goal. Look how packed them stands are. I love this new stand, I really do. It cost a bit of money, but it's definitely going to be worth it. Broga. Oh, it's gone in. It's gone in, and we made the I was going to cancel the substitutions then, but it's happened now. Maybe we can get a second or third goal just to max it out. And look, that just shows how big our fan base is now. We filled up that entire brand new stand. I want to see what happens now when we get a home game. We haven't had a home game since the stand has been completed yet. So I want to say, if we've got a home game, if we can fill the majority of this stadium up, if not all of it, which I'd be pretty happy if we could do that. So we are 1-0 up. It's a little bit risky, the formation we're playing at the moment. Taylor Fry is going to come on in place of Caballero, and Bustamante in place of Davidson, just to save them from potential injuries. But we should be able to see this one out now, hopefully. Broga's just incredible. I can't wait. I'm just hoping that Denmark don't try and call him up to the national side before he becomes Gibraltarian, because if we can get someone like that into the Gibraltar national side, he is going to be absolutely dominant for us. Just that central midfield presence of Anders Broga could be make or break for us getting ourselves up the world FIFA rankings. That'd be fantastic. Because we're currently about 193rd, I think. We went up a position. I don't know why. It must have been one of the other clubs above us must have lost. Yeah, but we're 193rd in the world. And I think that's out of 197, I think it is. But there's quite a few teams that are drawn with 197. So I think we'll... I think definitely once we hit a few of these friendly matches, we'll be able to build ourselves up a little bit. Because at the end of the season, we'll have Broga. We will have Jamie Wildman, the right back. We will also have Bustamante as a striker. So we'll have 3 brand new players in the national side. We've just called up Ramito as well. He's had 1 cap. And we've still got Jim Morrison in centre back, so that's pretty good as well. So I think we're looking pretty good now. We are looking pretty good. We're quite lucky, really, because all these players are going to improve the national side so much that we're going to end up looking like we've really done a good job, whereas we've actually just got a much better pool of players to pick from. So we're going to be quite lucky in that sense of it, really. Big goal kick by Ramito. Ataganya flicks it on to Stevens. What can Stevens do now? Oh, cheeky little ball into Baez. Baez makes it 2-0, and we are secure now. It was a little bit worrying there for a few seconds, but we are secure, and I'm happy with that. Good bit of link-up play between Stevens and Baez. Now, there are a lot of players already signed up to come in the summer, I'm not going to lie. But we will be trying to clear a lot out as well. That's the main thing. We're trying to clear a few players out as well. So, hopefully there's not going to be too many problems next year with people annoyed about not playing first-team football. I'm going to sort of try and cut it down. We've got a lot of very good players, and one thing that I do know is definitely happening, and I know this is a very sad day for all of us. Chris Morgan has agreed to leave us. It happened a few days after the end of the January transfer window. I can't remember where he's going now. Somewhere in the Premiership, actually. I can't remember what it is now. West Ham, I think it might be. West Ham? Aston Villa? Something like that. But yeah, unfortunately that was something that's happened. I tried, he's been on at me for a while now to let him leave. And eventually I had to do it. It's worth £1 million. We got his release fee out of it at least. But we are going to need to replace that position, which I haven't done yet. I have been looking, but I've not found any midfielders as yet. I'm hoping when the summer comes around, there's going to be quite a few new players put onto the transfer list, and we can start to try and steal some good ones away from like the Real Madrid and Barcelona youth academies. And Ataganya gets a goal, and all of a sudden, from an itchy bum 1-0, we're now up to 3-0. And it's Ataganya, the player who's really developed so well over the last couple of years. He's another one that's just come out of nowhere, a bit like what Broga did. Just developed so quickly down in the under-18s and the under-21s, and then when he does get his opportunity in the first team, he just takes it so well. And we are 3-0 up, so that's another Good victory. That'll put us 29 points at the top of the table. And again, we're going to end up matching the highest point total next year. Next year, we're hopefully going to get through the entire season. We're winning every single game. But then, hopefully, we don't. That's the thing. I really want these other clubs in Gibraltar to start to get a bit better and to start to really challenge us. I don't think it's going to happen for quite some time. But if someone like Lincoln Red Imps again, or maybe a Gibraltar United or a Glasses, if someone like them became professional, they might be able to challenge us a bit more. And I would really like that. I really would. There we are, 29 points at the top of the table. Caballero got the man of the match with a 9.0 rating and 1 assist. So that's a good little match. And we've got one more match left of the season. I can't remember his now. Was it Glasses? I think it's away at Glasses. Well, let's go into it now anyway and have a look and see how we get on. And here we go once again. As you can see, we are heavy favourites for this one. Their key man is Nicolas Diaz, the man we released a couple of years ago, actually. Was he close to becoming Gibraltarian now as well? He's not fantastic, is he? Like, let's face it. He might even be better than the players we've got, but he's still got a long time to become Gibraltarian, so we'll ignore him for now. We've changed formation slightly. It is the last game of the season, so I do want to absolutely hammer them. Where's our team gone? There it is. So they've got Jack Peachman up front. They've got nobody who we got in our nationals. Oh, they've got Liam Joyce, the only player really that's in the national side. And we've got Bruno Ramito in goal. As course, the Gibraltarian #1 choice goalkeeper. That's why we got him. The Gibraltarian #1 choice centre back, Jim Morrison, with his 4 caps now. Alongside them we have Stefan Konganyoy, who really has come from nowhere this season. He was sort of a fringe player and now he's become one of our first choice defenders all of a sudden. Alongside them we have Obef Bitinho, who's just first choice in general. And talking of first choice, Anders Broger, who from next season on, since we're going to lose Chris Morgan, Anders Broger will be our captain for next season. On the left hand side we have Christian Ataganya, fresh off scoring the goal in the last game. On the right hand side we have Mr. Assist himself, Roberto Otero. 12, oh wait, what's he? Let's put them all together then. 25 assists in 21 games. Incredible, man, incredible. Natalio Caballero plays that attacking central midfield role. If we can hold on to this guy for another few years, then he'll have a few good years in the national side. He could as well. Up front we're going to go with Joe Stevens, who we've had him for 2 years now, haven't we? He's still got a long time left. He's got another 3.5 years left yet, hasn't he? Christian Baez. And in the middle we have going, of course, for Maximiliano Bustamante. Now, I've rested Kevin Davidson because he's not quite 100% fit. One thing with Davidson, he's just been called up by Scotland for the European Championships this summer. So, we have a good player on our hands there, I think. So, I don't normally go for this sort of formation. But I really wanted to go all-out attacking this one, see if we can get a lot of goals. Now, again, we are away from home. And the stadium is sold out. We have taken 4,000 away fans to a 5,000-seater capacity stadium. So that just shows our fan base is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And yeah, this massive stadium, only just been upgraded recently, is now sold out. Well, apart from those 2 people there. People always buy tickets. There's always 1 or 2 people that never turn up, aren't there? For unforeseen circumstances. But this is good. I think next year we're going to have a full season with this massive stadium, especially in Europe as well. We're going to definitely increase the ticket money we're going to bring in. Hopefully we can increase our season ticket holders. Well, we're still at under 100 season ticket holders, which is a bit poor, really. But it's all just a building game, isn't it, really, I suppose? We've just got to keep getting into that Champions League group stage every year, locking in that £10 million. Ataganya scored again from that left side. He's a beast, he is, not in that left-hand side, Christian Ataganya. That's his 6th goal of the season. But he's just so good. He just seems to come into it all the time. I'm really impressed with him. So yeah, we can just keep getting ourselves into the Champions League group stage. We're going to get ourselves £10 million a year from doing that. I'm probably spending about, well, I think this year we've got about £7 million profit with all that prize money. Of course, I've spent quite a bit on players coming in and sign-on fees and wages and all that sort of stuff. So it's a case of just making sure that our prize money is always higher than our spend, which shouldn't be too much problem because we don't really get any prize money from the league and we're not really getting much in the shape of ticket sales. So it's all about that Champions League money, really. If we have a couple of bad years and we don't get through to the Champions League, then we could end up being in a little bit of trouble. But I don't think that's going to happen now. Our team's only getting stronger. As long as we don't lose too many players in the summer. I'm quite happy to let 2 or 3 go, but I don't want to let too many people go. Otero, cheeky little ball into Baez. It's come back out to Atagana. It's bouncing around. Diaz had it there for a second. It's been cleared. And all of a sudden, Glacis are on the counter-attack. Glacis United, a team who I think now we seem to have developed a big 4 in the country now, I think. It's obviously us. I think we're obviously a league ahead of everyone else. Then behind us, there's 3 teams, which are Glacis, Gibraltar United, and Lincoln Red Imps. Those 3 teams are the ones competing for the Europa League spots. And I wonder whether we can get our coefficient any higher. I don't know if we need the other teams to help us out on that, though, because at the moment, the likes of Red Imps and Glacis and Gibraltar United are not doing very well. Is that Bustamante's goal, or was that off Atagana? No, it is Bustamante's goal. Atagana gets the assist. Yeah, the other clubs that do get into the Europa League don't seem to do very well, so it's very much left in our hands to do all the hard work, really, trying to build up the coefficient for the country. We are now in the top 100 leagues in the world, which is good. We're slowly building the reputation of the league up, and if we can keep doing that, then hopefully we will get some sort of TV deal in place at some point. And I know you can get massive ones that are worth like £70 million for each team, but all I want is like a basic one. Even if there's just one that comes along that's worth a couple of £1 million for every team, at least it then sort of helps to build the other teams up. And hopefully the other teams can then become professional, because I think we're still the only professional team around. I might have to have a little bit of digging in between the episodes, see if I can see if anyone else is professional yet, but I don't think they are. I think it's... I don't know if it's to do with money or what, but hopefully a few of them can get that money in place. Because I know some of them that are getting into Europa League, they must be getting some money from that, some good gate receipts and some good prize money for being knocked out. I know you get good prize money for being knocked out the Europa League and the Champions League early on. So we're 2-0 up now. Atagana's having a storming game from that left-hand side. Atagana's been so good this season. He's really cut down the opportunities for Finn Baird, really. I'm starting to think if a good offer came in for Baird, we might actually have to let him go, because he's played for Australia now, so we're not really going to be able to get him into the national side. And at the moment, Atagana's got that position on the left-hand side very much in his place. And we have Nord as well, who can play left and right, but it's just tricky to get everyone in the team at the moment. As you can see, I've got a lot of players that are unhappy about not playing enough games. Otero, a good save by Johnson. See, some of these players now, they're not playing extra special because they know that they're not only playing to try and get their team a win, but they're also playing in front of the Gibraltar manager, who can bring them into the national side if I so wish. I don't think I will. I think my squad that I've got set up at the moment is very much the one that I need. There's a couple of players that were currently out injured when I picked that squad that I want to bring in at some point. But I don't think we have any more friendlies now until, I think it's the end of August. So probably 2 or 3, probably after the Champions League qualifiers? Yeah, it'll be after all the Champions League qualifiers, I think. So about 5 episodes time. I don't know when we're going into the Champions League. I don't know if we go into the second qualifying stage now rather than the first. So we cut that out. So we've only got 3 qualifying stages. We've got the second qualifying stage, the third qualifying stage, and the playoffs. So we now know as long as we get through the second qualifying stage, we know we at least go into the Europa League qualifiers, or we go straight into the Europa League group stage. If we get into the playoffs, we know we get into the Europa League group stage or the Champions League group stage. So either way, we know that's a good one. Otero's on the ball. Takes a shot and he scores for himself this time. Missed or assist, getting the goals. Ooh, what a goal. Pure inspiration by Roberto Otero. A man that I would love to become Gibraltarian as well. Unfortunately, because you have to do it successive days, the season that Otero had on loan about 5 or 6 years ago does not count. So he's had to start from scratch. So we need to keep him for another 4 seasons after this one before he becomes Gibraltarian. And that would be a massive scout for the national side to get a player of that quality in there as well. I think Bustamante will definitely be the #1 choice at the striker's role. We're probably Carl Potts behind him. I like Carl Potts. He is a member of our under-18s, but I think he's also probably the best striker that Gibraltar has to offer, just based on his stats alone. That 15 finishing is just quite a high number, especially for his age, and when he starts to develop into a better player as well. I don't think he's going to develop into much better of a player, but Bustamante's there now, and Bustamante trying to give a fan in the front row a ball to take home as a souvenir, evidently. He can't have been going for a goal, surely. Not of a shot like that. So he seems to be doing okay in this game. We're 3-0 up, which is pretty good. I was hoping for some more goals, but like I said, Glacis are a very good team. Difficult to get past. We had 27 shots though, 13 on target. So still our shooting is less than 50% accurate, which is not very good, is it? Otero with a throw. Patino's ball into Baez. Wow, that was a hell of a shot there by Baez. Baez plays the ball to Otero, but Otero completely missed it. I don't think Baez saw Otero's run. All of a sudden, Glacis are on the break. It's a very slow and laboured break, but oh, it's over the top to Jack Peachman, a player who came through our academy as well, but Ramito saw it coming. And how about that for a sweeper keeper there? Morrison now. Plays it forward to Atagana to Caballero. And again, like I said earlier on, if someone was to come in for Morrison in the summer now, I think I'd let him go, because we don't give him first team football every week, and for the sake of me being the national manager, if someone's willing to give Jim Morrison club football week in, week out, I'd pretty much happily let him go, because it's going to work out beneficial for us. And I do have a good centre back signed up for the summer to come in, so we are going to end up with McKendy, Patino, Kongayoy, and this new lad, as well as Morrison. So we're going to have 5 centre-backs, and then we've got other ones knocking around as well. So will he get that much first-team football next year? Obviously, we'll try and push him. If we've got a game coming up for Gibraltar, we'll play him for a couple of games to get his match fitness back up. But yeah, if somebody did come in for him, I think I'd probably let him go. And Ramito, I want to keep a hold of Ramito in all fairness, but again, if somebody tries to push for him, then who am I to say no, I suppose? He's now that we've locked him in for the national side, if he does leave, we've got other players. We've got Renato Claudinho on the bench. We've got Matteo Le Guen, the young French keeper, who again is only a couple of years away from being Gibraltarian himself. And we've got Tarasov, the Russian goalkeeper we brought in the summer, who's been away on loan. So he'll be coming back pretty soon as well. So we do have a lot of competition for that goalkeeping role. So if somebody did come in for Ramito, I would consider allowing him to go, as long as he was going to be first team choice there. And Stevens does get another goal. We are 5-0 up now. And the 4,000 away fans completely drowning out the 1,000 home fans. Pretty easy goal there by Stevens. Gonzalez just sort of stood there and it went straight for him, didn't he? That's Aloan Gonzalez, a player who we had at the beginning of the game, I believe. We had a couple of really good Spanish players when we started the game, but they just did not develop anywhere near as well as we hoped they were going to, unfortunately. They looked really, really good, the 2 Spanish players. It was Aloan Gonzalez, and there was another one, a defensive midfielder. What was his name now? He was playing at one of the other clubs in Gibraltar, wasn't he? He must have been released now, though, I reckon. I'm not quite sure. I remember it at some point. Caballero's ball over the top to Otero. Otero's good cross in. Stevens, oh, he couldn't quite get there. But that's just the sort of crossing ability that Otero gives you. That was a lovely cross. And it looks like that's going to be the end, and it is a 5-0 victory away from home at the Victoria Stadium against Glacis United, and that is the end of the league season, and another successful season for us. We've won the league, and quite convincingly. Lincoln Red do have a game in hand. We're currently 32 points at the top of the table, so should they win, that will be 29 points. Should they draw, will be 31 points, and if they lose, we'll win the league by 32 points, which is a pretty big difference, isn't it? So yeah, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Now, what do we have? Next episode we're going to have for you Lincoln Red Imps in the Senior League Cup final. And then we're going to have a Rock Cup final match against either Glacis United or Gibraltar United. And that just shows exactly what I was saying about the top 4 in the country. Ourselves, Lincoln Red Imps, Glacis United and Gibraltar United. They've all got themselves into finals or semi-finals in some cases. So yeah, I think we're starting to build a pretty good nation here, I think. We're definitely starting to improve the national side with some of the players that are becoming Gibraltarian now. And now that we're in charge, we can manage it properly as well, as long as I remember to actually play the friendly matches, eh? And yeah, I think hopefully we can continue to get our coefficient up and the reputation of the country up as well. Of course, as always, if you have enjoyed this episode, then please do hit that like button to let me know. And of course, if you are new around here, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well for a lot more of our Gibraltar challenge here on Football Manager 2016. I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in a couple of days' time for our 2 cup finals.